Good evening and welcome to the Lake Mills Area School Board meeting for November. My name is Rick Mason. I'm the president of the school board. And our mission statement is preparing all of today's students for tomorrow's opportunities. Verification of meeting notice.
The agenda was submitted to the Lake Mills Leader and posted at the Lake Mills Library, Post Office, and Bank of Lake Mills on Friday, November 1st. It's also on the district website.
Good. Could we stand and do the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Could we have roll call, please?
Don Delaney.
Here.
Rachel Davies. Robert D'Imperio.
Here.
David Radel.
Here.
Richard Mason.
Here. Any agenda revisions? None? Could I have approval then, please?
Move approval of the agenda as printed.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same side. Okay, the agenda is approved. Let's go to Dr. Delaney.
Well, I have a.
Do you have it?
I do.
Okay.
Cooper submitted something.
We have Mr. Buckholz's report, student report.
So
Good.
Cooper Buckholz is not only exhausted after the musical, but he's also at the sports banquet tonight. And so he submitted a report with the high school happenings, and he just asked me to remind you that tonight is the sports fall sports banquet. There's no real banquet, but that's just what it's called. They'll be recognizing all fall sports and their athletes and their numerous achievements this year. And they'll also be acknowledging the hardworking coaches who made the athletic season possible. He mentions that the high school musicals, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, wrapped up yesterday. They performed 4 shows and had nearly sold-out audiences for each of those shows. And their musical recognition night will be December 2nd. He doesn't mention that it was outstanding and he was the lead. And I told his mom today I would like him to be my father. He was great. Winter sports have begun their practices, and boys and girls basketball began their practice last week, and wrestling practice began tonight. All teams are very excited to kick off the season. And National Honor Society hosted the Veterans Day ceremony here at the high school, honored Lake Mills veterans. The show choir sang the Star Spangled Banner as well as "Oh America." It was beautiful, and the guest speaker was Scott Forrest. And I thought he just really had an outstanding message for the students as he spoke about his experiences, not just related to combat, but also missions that he ran and was part of, where he talked about drug trafficking and working collaboratively with Mexico to work on some projects there as drugs were coming through there. And I thought there was something for all kids. So I thought it was a really wonderful morning.
Good. Thank you. The musical, I might comment on the musical too, was absolutely outstanding. And the talent we have in Lake Mills is incredible, just incredible. So, now, Dr. Delaney, correspondence.
We had one item. We have a thank you from Brad Knippel, one of our district van drivers, for the expression of sympathy for his mother's recent passing.
Okay, thank you. Mr. D'Imperio, Facilities Committee.
Well, I'd like to begin by thanking the community and the taxpayers for the support in the recent referendum. That appreciate the confidence that has been shown and hope that we can live up to that. And I'd also like to recognize the fact that we had a lot of help in getting the information and the message out as to what the referendum was and what the needs were. And certainly Ms. Strike, Ms. Brockert, Mr. Vogel, and other staff members are to be commended for the time and energy that they put in making sure that people understood the facts and understood what was going on with the referendum. And so we thank you very much for that. The work for the referendum has already started. We had a meeting last week The Facilities Committee is going to be participating in some of the planning sessions here. The initial planning session is going to include meeting with respective staff members, the designers, as well as making some tours of area schools that have some of the key components of our building addition and remodeling here. That work is going to continue. We'll be doing, the architects will be doing some schematic drawings and plans, and we'll be coming back to the board periodically and updating on the status of those plans. The real important part of this project is going to be happening within the next several months. That's going to really set the tone for what is going on. So we are moving forward, and again, we're most appreciative of the support that the community has provided.
Good, thank you, thank you. Mrs. Bauer?
Good evening. It's been a very busy month, and I think it will continue to be busy until we get through the holiday season. But we had our parent-teacher conferences on the 11th and 18th this fall, so that we gave parents an opportunity to have it in the middle of the quarter instead of the end of the quarter. We are still getting feedback from parents on that, but it seemed like a very positive experience. We also have been working very hard with our core communities to keep families abreast of how their children are doing, so I think that made conferences a little smoother. There were no big surprises or anything like that. So they went very well, and I appreciate all of the participation by parents, because I know it's hard to get it in. Some parents were spending 2 hours there, so we really appreciate that. Then on October 24th, we had our community service event. This year, again, we added a little more of the service learning element to it. So we had students reflect on how they felt. We'll have the teachers take a look at, whether or not students felt like they were active, like they were appreciated by the community. Another piece of that is that we had to make sure that every community activity they did, what I call completed the loop. So they couldn't just write letters to somebody and not get feedback from those letters. They had to actually deliver them to the fire station or whatever they chose to do, so they got direct feedback and they understood how their community service actually impacted the people they were intending to impact. So a little bit of change there. Then then we followed that up with Spiketober, where the teachers play the students in volleyball. I went the following week to Nashville, Tennessee, to go to an ASCD conference on equity. And we are right in the sweet spot, I feel, probably even as a district, in terms of our mindfulness and those kind of things that we're doing to promote equity, and keeping a close look on our data and students, and closing those gaps. When I returned from Tennessee, we had the opportunity to have the Wisconsin Youth Symphony Orchestra visit us. So they came on that Wednesday. Was that just last week? Wednesday of last week. So we had an assembly for them. It was a wonderful opportunity. The kids really enjoyed it. And then on Friday, probably one of the best assemblies I've helped put together, and for Veterans Day. A really wonderful time, and the students did a great job. Everything, the energy of it was just amazing. This week is Kindness Week, so we are doing different things throughout the building to promote kindness with one another. And then just another upcoming date, it will be Thanksgiving, and then we'll come back and we will be looking at concerts on December 6th. So, like I said, moving right along. Any questions for me?
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Thompson?
Good evening. Just a couple of updates. Our first grade students were helping out in the garden with our middle school volunteers. They're putting the garden to bed for the fall. So they cleaned up everything, brought in any produce that was left to be used in our food service program, and then cleaned everything up afterwards. So thank you to the middle school volunteers and our community members who are there to help organize and coordinate with all of our students, our teachers, and the middle schoolers. This past month, I've spent a lot of time in classrooms. I had 21 observations, and I was able to see with our new math program with Ready Math, the higher level vocabulary that our teachers are using all across the grade level. So that was a new thing to be able to see, which will also help when they're getting ready for their state assessments in the spring. I saw a high volume of reading and writing that kids were doing. Their notebooks are filled with writing samples. They're reading up a storm. Lots of book clubs happening all across our classrooms in our building. And then relationships that our teachers have with our students is incredible. I was able to see that in every classroom that I visited, that our teachers really know our students well and go above and beyond to give them exactly what they need. We also had our Veterans Day Assembly last Friday. It was a great success. I thank our third grade team for organizing it, putting it together with interviews with veterans that our third graders did and put together a video that was played during the assembly. And then Darla Baling did all of the details of our event for the assembly, from the breakfast that everybody enjoyed in the morning to the invitations that went out. So thank you to all that were involved. And then parent-teacher conferences, we're halfway through. Last year we had lots of parents that came through, and on this Thursday we'll have the rest of our conferences for our families, and we have a high turnout, and I'll be able to share those numbers with you next month. Any questions?
Anybody? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Mrs. Brown. Come on down. Carefully.
Right. I just have a few things for you. I wanted to just let you know that last month we did present at the transition conference. We were expecting maybe about 30 people at our sectional, and we had well over 50, so it was pretty successful. We didn't have enough handouts, but that's a good thing. My EC team has really been working hard in trying to get some a collaborative play group. So we've met a few times in the past weeks with the rec department to figure out how we can get some collaboration between the two of us. And we have something that will be coming out to the community on a early childhood play group that should be starting after winter break. So we hope to get a great turnout for that. Again, this year we are looking at a potential intern for a second semester, but this year at the high school. And this week I will be meeting with some area directors to look at the potential of starting a collaborative rural autism team. So with some neighboring districts here and working with a autism specialist in our area.
Good. Questions? Any? Thank you. Mrs. Sivori.
Hi, it's been a very busy month. I went back to look at my calendar. I completed the mentor training, which is a new requirement of DPI with the staffing, that they have a DPI required mentor training that they are doing to try to improve teachers staying in districts. We'll see. I say that because the training was it was not my favorite training that I've ever been to. So we're going to see what we can do to improve it before we give it to our mentors. Very interesting. I also attended a full-day training on FERPA and the safety law and the reunification training for our safety plan, which was a very interesting training. It was national trainers coming in, and I got to sit with some other districts and what they were doing. So a very interesting training that will impact our safety plan, which we will be presenting, I believe, to you next month for your viewing, I think. Also went to an ACP training with our two new counselors, with Brian and with Colby, and they will be taking the leads in each of their buildings on the ACP plans and working with teachers to make sure that the students complete. And ACP stands for Academic Career Planning. So that's where the students start in 6th grade, really exploring job skills and what kind of interests they have, and then by high school starting to map out what classes they should take in order to achieve those. So that was a lot of fun. And then the ELL network with Tara Williams, just making sure that we're doing good things for our ELL kids. You have a proclamation in front of you on your board docs that last week was Gifted and Talented Week. So congratulations to all of our students who have a giftedness or have experienced a talent. It's very fitting to have the play, the musical, the week of that proclamation, because we have a lot of talented students, like Rick said. And then the last thing I have is we are starting summer school planning for next summer already. And we're just, hoping for that warmer weather to come fast after it just gets cold. So our proposal for dates this year is Monday, June 17th through July 2nd as the first session. That will be 12 days, just like it has been. And then the second session, we would start after the 4th of July weekend of July 8th through the 23rd, and that would be when we would do swimming lessons also. So it's 24 days like it has been the last, I don't know how many years, lots of years.
Okay, questions? All right, thank you.
Awesome.
Mrs. Brockert.
Thank you. One of my roles in the district, which I think is really great, is I oversee transportation, food service, the facilities directors and technology directors. So I touch base with them every month and just find out what's all going on, which I really appreciate. And some of the highlights are, like with our food service program, we were able to get, again, a $1,200 grant through Fuel Up to Place 60 program. And I know Kathy, our director, has some ideas of how she's going to use those funds to promote breakfast and our meal program in the future. With our facilities directors, I mean, they've been, our facility and maintenance, they've been working closely with Jamie on the safety grant, for example. And it's just, our roles are so much behind the scenes to help the students and staff be successful. And I think about, like, we got the Chromebooks for second grade, and then we finally, into the fall, we got the charging stations. And, between our technology program and our facilities people, they got those up in a quick, turnaround time so that the teachers and the students could use those Chromebooks in a more efficient manner than what they were. So I just, we're kind of always behind the scenes, but it's just really neat to see all the different ways, facilities, food service, technology, and transportation all contribute to a successful school situations for our staff and students. So I appreciate that.
Any questions? Thank you. Mrs. Strike.
I'd like to start, first of all, by giving Cale Vogel's report. He is at the fall sports event as well. He starts with congratulations again for the musical. I think, all of us are just in awe of the tremendous, not only the talent that we have, but the support that we have from community members and all the adults that support our students. And what I thought was really great about the musical is that our high school kids got to work with our middle school kids, and there were so many kids, and I've had so many parents come up to me and comment on how great the high school kids were and how they're just great mentors, and it was really wonderful to see. Again, mentioning the High School Veterans Day program, I was able to go to all three programs back to back to back. It was a really emotional morning, and it was just very, very well done at every single school. So everyone should be very proud of our staff and kids for celebrating that event. Cale goes on to talk about, at the end of last month, the high school science department presented about master-based learning at the WEAC Professional Issues Conference in Green Bay. It was very well received. They did 2 sessions, and that was just a really great experience for our teachers to be able to share the innovative things that they're doing. And then in collaboration with the parent-teacher conferences here at the high school the other night, they had a presentation about the teen brain, where it was a neuroscientist and psychologist talking about the mysteries of the adolescent brain, and over 20 parents attended that. He also started to list all of the beginning sports events and concerts that are coming up in his report for you to see. Going back to some of my things I'd like to talk with you about, just a reminder to the board that the state convention is coming up January 23rd to the 25th. Mr. Radel is our delegate, and he's planning on coming, and all of you are welcome to attend any of that that you'd like. So please let us know if you'd like to come so we can get you registered. Dave will be talking about the resolutions at next month's meeting, if you have any input about that. Then my sad news is that it's time to talk about whose seats are up for reelection. So Dr. Delaney and Mr. D'Imperio's terms will be ending in April of 2019. So the timetable is beginning to talk about that election. So anyone in the community who might be interested in running for the school board, it will open December 1st and be open until January 2nd. At that time, candidates can file, just come into our office to pick up registration information for the statement and your declaration of candidacy. And by December 21st at 5 o'clock, each of you need to tell us about your intentions, if you'd like to run again or not. And then April 2nd will be the election, and April 22nd, the new members will take office for that 3-year term. And attached to my report is our social media report. I think, as Mr. D'Imperio said, we were pretty successful at getting information out, and I think in large part, the referendum was very well covered by our social media through our own and also working in partnership with the leader. We kind of piggybacked off each other and provided lots of information. So the usage report is attached. There's also an update from the Recreation Department. I would just wanted to highlight on there that adult activities are beginning, and in youth, this is the time of year when we also provide archery, so remember that that's a recreation program. And then all of the basketball programs, it's time for sign up, and we've made some changes to that program, and we're partnering with a new basketball club in town to provide the opportunity for tryouts and traveling for students that want to do that, but then also the recreation level as well. And then information is provided there about trips for older people and also youth enrichment activities. And then finally, I just want to echo everyone and thank the community for their support during this referendum season. When people ask me how it went, the one thing that I say is we didn't all agree, but our job was to provide the facts, and I, along with all of you, talked to so many people, and even if we disagreed, I think that we disagreed very civilly and politely, and people's voices were heard, and I just really appreciate that process. I thought it went very, very well.
Is that it?
Yep.
Questions from anybody? All right, thank you. Community input? Any community input?
Yes.
Here comes the input.
Good evening.
Hi.
We're here from Lake Mills Education Association and the Lake Mills Education Support Professional Association. We want to start by saying congratulations to the board, administration, parents, and especially the students of Lake Mills on the recent passage of the building referendum. Our collective investment in our schools has enabled student success through improved facilities at the elementary and middle school levels, and Lake Mills educators are grateful to the community for its continued investment in the high school. There will be another education strengthening measure coming up for a vote at the Wisconsin Association of School Boards regarding Wisconsin's Common School Fund, and that's what we wanted to talk about today. Since its establishment in the state constitution in 1848, the Common School Fund has been providing Wisconsin's public school libraries the funds to grow and maintain collections that support educators and students alike. For many Wisconsin public schools, the money provided by the Common School Fund is the sole source of substantial funding to the school library. These funds allow school library media specialists the ability to develop diverse collections that include print resources, such as books and magazines, digital resources, such as online databases, ebooks, and audiobooks, AV equipment, such as microphones, cameras, and editing software, and even physical realia materials, such as 3D printers and coding materials like robots. We urge the board to consider supporting a Wisconsin Association of School Boards resolution to protect the Common School Fund. Protecting these funds would allow school libraries to continue to serve Wisconsin educators, students, and greater school communities with up-to-date and relevant library collections that focus on future-ready skills. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's go on to the action items. These minutes from previous meetings we'll take separately because there's some breakout for that. Not everybody attended them, and we'll do those by voice vote. So the first one, approval of October 8th meeting. I'll take the motion.
I move the board approve the minutes of the October 8, 2018 regular Board of Education meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the October 8th meeting. Any questions or comments on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. October 8th Finance Committee meeting.
I move the board approve the proceedings of the October 8th, 2018 Finance Committee meeting.
Se-
Moved and seconded to approve the October 8th Finance Committee meeting. Questions on that or comments? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? October 22nd Special Board of Education meeting minutes.
I move the board approve the minutes of the October 22nd, 2018 Special Board of Education meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the October 22nd Special Board of Education meeting. Any questions or comments on that one? All in favor, say aye.
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 And I will abstain on that one, and that passes. Approval of vouchers and invoices.
I move the board approve the vouchers and invoices in the amount of $1,449,341.01 for the month of October 2018.
Second?
Moved and seconded to approve the vouchers and invoices. Any questions on those? Wendy, is that your 1 cent
Yeah.
in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Don Delaney.
Aye.
Robert Timperio.
Aye.
David Radel.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye. And that passes unanimously. Approval of treasurer's report.
I'll move the board approve the treasurer's report for the month of October 2018.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the treasurer's report for last month. Any questions on that? Roll call, please.
Robert Timperio.
Aye.
David Radel.
Aye.
Don Delaney. Aye. Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Approval of civil engineering and landscape design services and wetlands delineation.
So this is in conjunction with the work for the referendum, and we have gone through the bidding process. We received 3 bids, and we would recommend the hiring of Kapoor and Associates out of Milwaukee.
I'll move the board approve the hiring of Kapoor Associates for civil engineering and landscape design services and wetland delineation in the amount of $56,600, excluding permits and other reimbursables at the Lake Mills High School site.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve Kapoor and Associates. Any questions on that at all? Okay, roll call, please.
David Radel.
Aye.
Don Delaney. Aye. Robert Timperio.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Approval of property and certified utilities survey requirements.
Even though the amount of this is under the amount that we typically bring to the board, we thought it was important because it's associated with the referendum to share this bidding process with you as well. We received 3 bids, and we are recommending Kapoor and Associates.
I move the board approve the hiring of Kapoor and Associates for the property and certified utilities survey requirements for $3,200 plus reimbursables at the Lake Mills High School site.
Second?
Moved and seconded to approve the hiring of Kapoor for property and certified utilities survey. Any questions on that? Roll call, please.
Don Delaney.
Aye.
Robert Timperio.
Aye.
David Radel.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Approval of summer school dates.
These are the dates that Ms. Sivori just shared with you. If you have any questions, she's still here to ask.
I move the board approve the 2019 summer school dates as proposed. Session 1, June 17th through July 2nd. Session 2, July 8th through July 23rd. Swim lesson dates, July 8th through July 23rd, all of 2019.
Second?
Moved and seconded to approve summer school dates. Any questions on those? Roll call, please.
Robert Timperio.
Aye.
David Radel.
Aye.
Don Delaney. Aye. Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Approval of German exchange program for the 1920 school year.
Ms. Morris takes charge of this exchange program. Even though we don't offer German anymore, we've continued to do this exchange with our partner school in Germany. And she's here if you have any questions. And also Ms. Smith is here, and she has traveled with this group as well. It includes students coming here and our students going there.
I move the board approve the German exchange trip proposal for fall 2019 and summer 2020. It is understood that the board will incur no cost and will accept no liability for any funds lost or for any reason.
Second?
Moved and seconded to approve the German exchange trip. Questions on that? Roll call, please.
David Radel.
Aye.
John Delaney.
Aye.
Robert Timperio.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye. That passes unanimously. Approval of co-curricular letters of assignment.
As you know, fall sports or winter sports have started, and we are still hiring. So here is the list of coaches, and one of our coaches is in the audience this afternoon, or this
Right.
evening as well.
Motion, please.
I'll move the board approve the following co-curricular letters of assignment. Mr. Carl Gates, 7th grade girls basketball coach. Ms. Katie Burton, 8th grade girls basketball coach. Mr. Robert Rose, JV 2 girls basketball coach. Mr. Ryan Benich, assistant varsity boys basketball coach. And Mr. Timothy Brunn, varsity wrestling coach.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the co-curricular letters of assignment. Questions on those from anyone? Roll call, please.
John Delaney.
Aye.
Robert Timperio.
Aye.
David Radel.
Abstain.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes 3-1.
3-0.
One abstention.
Well, you abstained, okay. 3-0. All right, the next one is approval of donation of solar panels.
Well, this is an exciting donation. It comes to us from WPPI Energy and Lake Mills Power and Light. As you might remember, 10 years ago, they put solar panels on one of our buildings here at the high school. And at the time, this was through a grant for about $85,000. At this time, they would like to donate that complete system to us, so it would become our possession. And so the details are outlined there as well as the agreement. But it was such a sizable donation that we wanted to bring it to your attention. We have, it has an estimated value of about $25,000. That's what we've submitted to our insurance as it's brought on to.
Motion, please.
I move the board accept the generous donation from WPPI Energy and Lake Mills Light and Water for the 10 kilowatt of fixed solar voltaic, thank you, panels mounted and affixed to the roof of the Lake Mills High School maintenance garage in accordance with the Renewable Energy Purchase Agreement dated as of November 8th, 2018. The estimated value of this donation is $25,000.
Second.
Okay, it's the high school and maintenance garage, correct?
It's on the maintenance garage
It's the
here at
maintenance
the high
garage
school.
over at,
Okay, but it's not on the high school.
Right.
Got it. Questions? Any other questions?
I do.
Yes.
When this was installed, do we have a tracking system that either through the city or that we have direct access to see the effectiveness of this?
They do have those records. Would you like to see those?
No, I think that they would be very instructive for like our science programs.
Right.
And it would be good as we continue with that if we had a way to tie that in and observe, and they could look different days, cloudy days, and that sort of thing, and see the variation in what the photovoltaic cells are doing.
And we also brought that up because we talked about if one of them should fail, how will we know it? And so that's why we talked about needing to monitor that to see actually what is now fed into our system. So, okay,
Cool.
absolutely.
Any other questions? That's terrific gift. Roll call, please.
Robert Timperio.
Aye.
David Radel.
Aye.
John Delaney.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Approval of gifts.
And in addition to that gift, there are 2 others this month as well.
Motion, please.
I move the board accept the following gifts and thank the generous donors for their continued support of the students and programs of the Lake Mills Area School District. Mr. Tom Hemmingson from Schweitzer Engineering Laboratories for their $100 donation to the Lake Mills High School, and Mr. Greg Hoffman of WPPI Energy for their donation of 3 sets of Connect's Education Renewable Energy Set valued at $502.98 to the Lake Mills Elementary School.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the gifts. Any questions on those? Roll call, please.
David Riddle.
Aye.
Dawn Delaney.
Aye.
Robert Timperio.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Future board agenda items.
The audit report? You ready in December?
I reached out to the auditor last week, and he's hoping to get me the report like end of this week or next week, so I'll see if they'll be ready to present at the December meeting.
And then at the next meeting, we'll also have some updates to our security plan, and we'd like to share those with you. And by state statute, that now needs to be approved, but we'll actually do that in closed session because there are some components of that that are confidential.
All right, good, good. Anything else? Anybody can think of? All right, I'll take a motion to go to executive session.
Well, I'll move the board adjourn to executive session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 19.85, Paren 1, Paren C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, specifically administrative contract.
Second.
Second, roll call, please.
Dawn Delaney.
Aye.
Robert Timperio.
Aye.
David Riddle.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and we're adjourned to executive session.